information was, but his shoes were polished. He walked differently. He carried himself differently. Now there was something else to ascend to. We have to understand the church, and there's a teaching that you can't chase God and wealth. God is not broke. God doesn't desire that we will be broke, but he doesn't desire that our motives are based on money. Our motives are based on obedience to his voice, and in that, the repercussion of that as well. And so, just the dynamic that you spoke about, the educational piece is necessary. You don't know all that without studying. Now, if you were somebody that just came to church to hear your pastor, you've never heard a pastor preach what you said.
Right.
We don't study well enough. We don't dig deep enough to know the history of what we're in. And so we can't even protect Christianity because Christianity is now based on a feeling and not a history.
And I see that the church, a lot of the times, church is a Sunday thing. You get to church, and so little difference about the church that I now attend. Over the past 15 years, I've attended a different church. Now I do Willow Creek DuPage. They actually involve people and in their walks. Monday we have this going on. On Wednesday we feed the homeless. On Thursday we get together in men's group and strengthen ourselves. So all these ideas based on the God-partnered business idea and motto is to make Sundays, yes, a holy day, but not the only day. So my idea is that we all come together in business, sharing our ideas, bringing together culture, business, and forget about the race and the diversities. Because we all bring something to the table. Now let's share our ideas on how to do this.
Well, since you brought that up, let's deal with it.
Sure.
Because the climate of our country right now is that, and it has been for a while, I think it's been underground for a number of years, but you know, the political elections and a lot of other things that have taken place, police brutality and what have you, all of these issues that have taken place in our society has kind of brought to the surface the sensitivity of racial issues, racism, police injustice, what have you, Black Lives Matter, all those things. Let's kind of talk about that, because I believe that as men of God, it's important that our voice be heard on this earth, that we speak not just from our own opinions and emotions, but we speak on behalf of God. What does God say about these things? Well, let me throw it at you, or
Please.
or James first. Either one of you guys can start off. What's your opinion on some of these things that are going on? Maybe give your opinion on maybe what God has told you concerning how you have to deal with some of these issues.
Well, I find it sometimes almost funny because everyone's so afraid to talk about it. And their own opinion, what they really believe in. Oh, if I say this, my neighbor's going to be upset. And I think once this comes to the surface, just like anxiety, if you don't talk about anxiety, it's going to build up to the breaking point. Same with political views, God views. If we hold it in, his kingdom's never going to be known. Who is this man you keep talking about, this Jesus? You have to talk about it. So, yes, I think it's very important that we not hide behind our fears and let it out. Okay, we have a new president coming in. What are we going to do? Let him run it or us run it? Give him our views? Or are we going to be weak and let the media do all the talking? God-partnered business is ready to change the mindset of all business. And it's not just men. Women bring a huge part to this. Huge. We were having tea the other day. It was a phenomenal meeting.
Oh, yeah. Was it Judy?
Judy,
Yeah.
business owner, right here in Wheaton, Illinois. Happened to just start by simple God bless you. Not fearing the outcome. And that, God bless you, turned into a 25-minute conversation of what business people can do.
Yeah.
There's no rules in business that say you can't say Merry Christmas or God bless you.
As a matter of fact, the businessmen are empowered to speak. Their voice carries more weight, especially in the political arenas, than your regular individual, because the businessman funds the community from the taxes that you pay, from the position of power that you have, and especially when there's a group of them. So, you know, for me, if I can take a step back, I have kind of a unique perspective on the whole racial issues, because I was raised in Maywood, Illinois, which is an all African American black community, until I was 14 years old. And then my parents moved. We moved to an all-white community. So I literally, there was no transition. One day I was in an all-black community, the next day I was in an all-white community. My high school had about 2,000 kids, and there were 3 black kids in the entire school. So it was a drastic shift. What I realized is that it brought to surface in me a lot of anxiety, a lot of fears from just not knowing. It was more about, what are they going to think of me? All I know about white people is what I saw on TV. You know, are they going to talk about me? Will I be accepted? You know, so I walked into that environment kind of insecure about who I was, not just because of how I felt about myself, but how I projected what they thought about me. And what I found is that when I lived in Maywood, I had a lot of good friends. There were a lot of good people, friends that I still have to this day. I had a few people that were knuckleheads, you know, the gangbangers, the dope dealers, you know, those guys that were up to no good, that hated their own people, and they displayed it by their actions. But for the most part, there were mostly good people there. When I moved to Addison, I found that people accepted me for the most part for who I was. I found that there were a segment of people in the white community that didn't know me just like I didn't know them. And so they had curious questions that were not racist questions. They were just, they had no experience with black people, so they would ask me questions that I found silly. Does your hair get wet? Back when I had hair. Does your hair get wet? And to me it's like, of course my hair gets, but they just didn't know. It didn't mean that they didn't, that they hated me or they didn't like me. They were just curious, like, wow, a real live black person. Like, but as we got to know each other, they became familiar with me, and I still have some very good friends that have come from that community. But just like in Maywood, there was a segment of knuckleheads. In Addison, there was a segment of people that I had to deal with. Walking down the street, someone drives by yelling an N-word. You know, that didn't reflect the mindset of the entire community, but it did reflect an ignorant person. Now, I could take that comment and say all white people are like that, or I can put it in the proper context and say that was an individual who was ignorant, just like there were individuals who were ignorant in my old neighborhood. So we have to uncover, it's not, no pun intended, it's not all black or white. There's layers to this thing. There's people who are ignorant, who are not racist, and you just have to educate them. Once they understand it, they're fine. There's people who really are. They have hidden levels of racism that they don't want to let out because they know that there's this political correctness that will expose their ignorance. And they want to be ignorant. That's a difference. Then there are the openly racist people who, and these are black and white people,
Absolutely.
who are just not afraid to say how stupid and ignorant their perspective is, or what have you. So we can't just look at things as simple as black and white. Black people are like this, white people are like this. And as men of God, we have to stand more for righteousness than we do for color. We have to stand up for what is right. James and I have talked about this, and I'll let you comment on this. You know, the whole Black Lives Matter agenda. I actually respect a certain perspective. I've actually redefined it for my household. To me, does Black Lives Matter? Absolutely it matters. But if it matters, if I'm talking to my black community, and I have one of my brothers who is saying Black Lives Matters because a cop killed a black man, but yet when a black man kills a black man in your own community, then cops come to you to try to find out what you saw and you don't want to deal with him, you don't have the right to say Black Lives Matter. You're a hypocrite. Don't try to proclaim something in a situation that's convenient for you because you're emotional about it. Because it's not righteous. That's wrong. And you're a hypocrite and you need to keep your mouth closed. So that's one extreme. On the other extreme, you have white people who don't want to hear Black Lives Matter because they want to pretend like it's all good and all of this other stuff, we need to just forget about it and ignore it like it never happened. No, there are real things that really happen and we need to address them. And if we can come to the table like that and not be defensive just because something is brought up and have real conversations about them, that's when progress can be made. And I believe that because of who God is and if God lives in us and God is love, we're the only ones that can really have that conversation from an educated, informed, articulate, but also exemplifying what it looks like.
So,
That makes sense?
yeah, actually.
So I'll let you guys kind of comment on that.
I figured he had something to say.
Thank you. Well, as I walk in business, it's great that we have the opportunity to work in different fields in my career. And with that being said, there's property management, which is rentals. There's home sales, and then there's dealing with investors. With that being said, we have all different areas of different diversities, different people that we're working with. And the hidden truth of the matter is, people come in my office and they say, that guy's on the phone again. And we all raise our eyebrows and, yeah, okay, it's that guy. Now